Check it out, guys. We are back from powder coat. That is neon yellow. Prismatic powders, neon yellow color, and it's crazy. It's like sometimes green, sometimes yellow, sometimes highlighter looking color. So it's bright, it's beautiful, and let's get this thing put back together. Sweet, so it is sitting on links. We got all the bolts in for the links, and front's done too. Bolts, they're just there's no nuts on them yet, but the bolts are in, good enough. Before I put the whole engine, transmission, transfer case in, which I'm going to try to stab all at once, just like the opposite of how me and Alex pulled it out. We're going to try to stab it all in at once. And that way I don't have to break any seals on it or anything because it's not leaking. There's grease everywhere, but I don't think it was from that leaking particularly. Anyways, so there's a couple things I'd like to try to put in there before we can stab the radiator in. Let's try to do that. I need to put some rib nuts in some holes, and then move on to some other little things wherever I can put them. Let's mess around with something that I can do. Okay, so I actually pressure washed this whole thing, so it's not all nasty and grimy anymore. And it's looking pretty good. So we are going to try to put this in there, and it's just me today. So I'm going to see what I can do by myself without scratching anything and see what happens. Victory! It's in there. Went pretty smooth. Got the T-case mount bolts in, which are actually longer bolts. The ones that were in it before were too short, and it actually stripped it out. I don't know if you can see that, but that's aluminum pieces in there. And it only went in about a ½ inch, so we got like an 1.5 inch bolt in there now, much longer, goes all the way flush to the top of the mount, so it will not come out again. Engine mount bolts are all in, all that's in. I did miss. I just hit one spot, this little spot right there, so sorry about that, Josh. But anyways, coilovers. Let's get it on coilovers next. Exhaust in, and then go from there. Okay, so got this knocked out. These are majority of the pieces that I needed painted, and this not being painted was going to hold me up, but the weather outside was really nice yesterday, and then it dropped all the way down from like 70 degrees down to, I think it got to 28 last night. So I needed to spray this, and then right when I was spraying it, I started hearing thunder and it started raining, so I had to spray it as fast as I could and then bring it inside of here out of the weather. And I have the heater running, so it's nice and probably 70 degrees in here to help cure this stuff up. So yeah, turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. We will basically, I got some touch-ups to do in a couple pieces, but waiting on paint to cure is kind of annoying when you're ready to put stuff back together. So anyways, we got painted stuff. This is a big milestone, getting that painted, because that needs to go in relatively soon. So pretty cool. All right, so I got all the steering lines completed, routed, pretty much zip tied up to where I want them to be, all the way to the front. So I got to cut all the zip ties, obviously, but and then we got the accessories back on. Those are all good to go. Reservoirs are good. That's the breather over there, or the catch can. So that's been already plumbed back in. So looking really good. We're probably going to go do this front drive shaft portion over here. I painted it not too long ago, so I have to make sure it's dry, but I need to get that front drive shaft back in so I can put this trans tunnel down. The front drive shaft's kind of tricky with the trans tunnel being in, so I'll do that while it's out. So I think that's what's up next. And then probably this portion that goes over the rear drive shaft. However, I don't need this one. Maybe I'll just stick it in there too. I painted that one recently too. So I gotta make sure everything's dry and then put it all back together. Drive shafts in. And then I think it's really time for the trans tunnel. So we'll put the trans tunnel in, then I can start mounting wiring, doing all that stuff. Battery can go back in. Really, this is my box of crap right here, and it's really just electrical and fuel related right now. So alrighty, let's see what we can get done. Alrighty, we got my neighbor Joe. Many of you guys seen him before on here. He came over and we've been just kind of tightening up lots of bolts, making some progress. Got the front drive shaft in, started doing the fuel lines all the way to the back. Yeah, I mean, even got the fuel pump mounted over here, fuel cell mounted back in there, so we're making some progress here. What I'm gonna try to do next is this. So while I got Joe here, I need help lifting this in there and not scratching anything. So that is the goal, to successfully put that in there without hitting any of the other tubes and messing anything up. So let's do that, and then I'll really be moving right along because I could start mounting the battery on there, shifters, all that stuff. So that's what's next. There it is. We made it all the way to the New Year's working on the buggy. Happy New Year's. That's 2026 right there. Dallas ball drop.
And we got fireworks going on.
And we got fireworks outside. And we got like, I don't know, 70-degree weather in here. All right, back to work. Happy New Year's, guys. It is officially 2026. Stayed up till about 1 last night tinkering around with the buggy, putting a bunch of stuff together. Joe, huge help, came over and knocked out a lot of stuff. I mean, we tightened all the bolts up, the drive shaft, half the front drive shaft's in, rear drive shaft's in. Obviously trans tunnel, fuel lines, we got fuel lines ran, steering lines ran. I am waiting on some more fuel line and transmission lines, so I still have those to install, but then pretty much the fluids are done, besides the water too, because the tube work has sand in it from blasting, so I want to run a hose through that before hooking everything back up. But anyways, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. My goal is probably about 5,000 subscribers in 2026. If you don't subscribe, you can't make that happen. So I'd super appreciate it. And yeah, back to the buggy. Holy smokes. So I went full-fledged crazy on wiring. Just basically trying to get everything connected. And we're taking off a bunch of connections from the busted knuckle kit. And it'll still be powering 3 circuits. It'll still be powering things like the rear steer. It'll be powering the fuel pump. It'll be powering the fans. So it'll be 3 circuits ran through this. The rest of our circuits are going to be ran through the aux beam kit. So this is the aux beam kit, which comes with the switchboard or whatever it is, the little switch panel. So integrating all of it, and then I'll have to try to tie it all together, wire loom it, and make it look pretty. Alrighty guys, new day in the shop. Went to bed at like 1 something last night, woke up at like 8:30 or something like that. And I'm ready to finish up the wiring on this thing. So if I can knock out that today, that's huge progress. And then I'm just waiting on some parts, honestly. And we could probably try to start this thing up. So something I've learned from my friend Jess Cordova is to eat a healthy breakfast prior to your day. That's why I got this bad boy out. No, I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but I'm gonna get to work. It's really good, Jess. I like it. Okay, it is a new day out here, and my neighbor Joe came over again. Super thankful for his assistance, and we got a bunch of stuff installed. Obviously speaker bars up there. Seats have been installed. Engine cowling's installed. I mean, pretty much everything is installed. Wiring is 100% done. Everything just turns on like it's supposed to. Got fan switch. Got lights. Yeah. So that all works. Light bar up top. Oh, those are rock lights somewhere. Rock lights are going. And then your light bar up top. So yeah, I mean, it's ready to start. I mean, this will turn over the motor. It doesn't have any fuel in it right now. So we were waiting on fuel lines. Still need some fuel lines. I was like 2 feet short when I rerouted the fuel lines to the driver's side. It needs to go back over to the passenger side to the fuel pump. So waiting on that line to come in. Transmission lines, I have those, so I can do those today. The shifter for the T-case, that can go in today. I think those are the 2 things I want to knock out. The shifter for the transfer case and those lines for the transmission. So I think I'm going to work on those, knock those out. Alrighty guys, so installing the twin stick kit. It's already got the pieces on the transfer case forks in there, so I just put those on. Ran into an issue here with just my cutout and the design on these. This angle needs to get taken out of there. So if we take this angle out and just have it be straight, I think it'll work perfect. So as you can see, the sticks are under the dash. It's all wonky. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this piece out, lower these forks so the handles are a little bit lower, and then put it all back in there, see what happens. Well, if it were easy, everybody would do it, right? So, ran into an issue already. This transfer case is clocked up, which throws all this off. So now I have to figure out how to get the linkages to all work with the transfer case being clocked, like probably 2 inches or 3 inches up on the passenger side. So I think I got an idea for this one. This one might be pretty easy. This one is not gonna be easy, so I'll try to do some magic on this one, and I'll report back. All right, here's the first one done. So this one works nice and smooth. I might clearance this just a hair more just so it don't hit that and stop it. But that works pretty dang good, so none of the hardware's tight. But what I had to do is I extended this piece right here, then drilled a hole in it, and then tapped that hole for this little joint down there, the threaded joint. So that works good. On to the next one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So after heavily modifying all the shift forks and everything, we got something that works. I still got to tighten up all the hardware, so disregard that. But it works pretty good. Pull this bad boy out one, all this all the way back, and then that's all the way the other way, whatever that is. Fast, slow, I think it's slow, or low, so. Yeah, I think it works pretty dang good. Very easy to move, and it works. So I'm gonna tighten up all the hardware and lock it in, and this is done. Alrighty, it is pretty much ready to start. I got all the lines connected except for coolant lines. That's the only ones we're still missing, just because I want to run a hose through here, some hose water through here, just because this the sand media from when they blast, or whatever blasting media they have, that's all up in this rail, and I've blown it out with air, but there's only so much you can do with the air pressure, so we need to get a garden hose down in there to really flush it out, so it just doesn't suck in all that into the engine and probably eat up a water pump and whatever else sand does in the water system. But so it's got gas in it, we got all the oil lines hooked up, transmission lines are hooked up, power steering, I already added power steering. That's the rear, this is the front, and you can kind of cycle through a little bit of the, even though it's full hydraulic, you can move the tires just a little bit to try to get that fluid through the system just a little bit, try to get some of the air bubbles out of there. So I've done that already a couple times. It's really time to start it. So we got gas in there, we'll see what the heck happens, I guess, huh? Park, prime some fuel. Let's check that first. No leaks so far. Okay, fire in the hole. Zero power steering fluid. Already sucked it dry. Man, does that sound freaking sweet though. It's the first time starting it with a full exhaust on it. That sounded awesome. Alright, fire in the hole. Lots of air bubbles. Okay, let's clean out some tubes. Okie dokie, so blew all those lines out, just flushed them out. You can see that that's like some grit and sand that was down in there, so I'm glad I did that. Cleaned those out pretty good. And then, oh yeah, as it was pulling out, it stopped moving forward, which means we're low on trans fluid. Because remember, we did do all new trans lines back to the trans cooler back there, so maybe that was enough to render it too low to pull forward. So we'll go get some new trans fluid for this thing and coolant. So I have no coolant at the house. We need both those fluids, and then we could start connecting all these up to the radiator, bleed out the air, probably pull off the steam ports on the one of the steam ports on the cylinder heads up front, probably just the front one, and that way it'll purge out the air. And then yeah, we're pretty much calling it a wrap. Still gotta put my gauges back, pop those back in, and then once everything is warmed up, idling, moving, and maybe we take it. I still got a drive shaft to put in too. We need one more U-joint, but once everything's in there, we will officially pull off the tape. I'm not pulling off the tape till it's done. But anyways, let's go get some fluid. Alrighty, pretty successful first trip. We went pretty good, but what happened?
We ran out of gas.
We ran out of gas. So definitely it started running weird coming up the hill, and I was wondering what the heck it was, and yeah, sure enough, I got back in the garage just as it was kind of stumbling, and there's only like maybe an inch or two of gas in there. And the way the tank is shaped, it's actually bubbling that gas. So the cooling fan is boiling the gasoline that's in there. So needs a lot more gas than what I put in it. And we'll put like 10 gallons in it tomorrow and take it on another trip. Next thing to do really is the front drive shaft's not in. So we got to put the front drive shaft in and then check for leaks. It's pretty important to make sure all your fittings are tight before sending these things out on the trails. So we're going to check for leaks, add some gasoline, and take it for another test drive tomorrow. Pretty cool. Alrighty, I think it's officially time. Let's pull this thing off. Harder than I thought. Alrighty, this thing's officially been pimped. Got no tape on there. Fresh. Hey guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Super pumped how this thing turned out. Hopefully Josh is just over the moon about it. It is sweet. Just everything that's been redone. We got, new lines done the right way. We have the trans tunnel done the right way. We have the shifters done the right way. To the dash redone, to the center console. I mean, tons of upgrades have been put into this thing, and it sure shows. It's looking good. So hey, if you guys like this, do me a huge favor and like, subscribe, share, and do all that good stuff, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.